Well, firstly, I'm not a good dancer. I think I'm one of the worst dancers certainly I've met. However, on ice, even though it is very, very difficult, it helps if you're able to dance, obviously. However, it never held me back that I wasn't able to dance. So, in this show, Joseph, I have a little bit of choreography to do. However, it's very much vocally led. So.
And the other thing about this show is it's a personality role where you can kind of make it your own. I mean, you've taken over from Lee Mead and he kind of recreated it with winning the TV show, and now it's you. It's a chance for you to put your mark on it, isn't it?
Sure. The directors have really let me have fun with the role as well and bring my own elements to the show. There's certain things that I have to do, like wear a wig, so it's in keeping with the times then and things like that, and the loincloth, which scared me to death when I first saw it. However, they have really been allowed me to be free with the part and allow me to add my own personality traits into it.
I was thinking about trying on a loincloth, and then I thought I'd look like I was modelling for scatter cushions. How physically in shape have you had to get to do this role?
Very, very in shape. If you look over there, you can see my weights. I've actually been in the gym every day, watching what I eat. And I'm happy now. I can walk around the stage in my loincloth and feel relatively comfortable. The first 5 minutes in it is always a bit awkward. However, you sort of get used to it, which is cool.
I get the idea that the mums are bringing their kids for different reasons. They're kind of watching two different shows at the same time.
I'm able to imagine that, yeah. That's the great thing about the show. There's something for everyone, and whether it be, the mums loving the show for various reasons, or the kids just loving the songs, right from the music, right to the choreography, right to the show itself, is there's certainly something for absolutely everybody.
I've great admiration for you because you're a fighter, you're a guy who keeps in the business, and it's not easy to get these roles, it's not easy to get a gig anywhere. You went quiet for a bit and now you've come back. It's so admirable. There must have been a moment when you thought, is it over?
I've never thought that, and I think the reason why is because of my age. I'm only 24. There's still lots of things I want to accomplish in my life, and musical theatre was certainly one of them. Joseph itself was the very reason why I began to sing. It was where I discovered my passion for music, and so it's the dream role for me. It really is. It's where I started, and well, I hope it's not where I finished, but music business is very different to this. It's very unpredictable in the sense that you don't know really what you're doing from day to day. There's no set routine, and I'm really looking forward to having a routine of waking up each day and knowing what I'm going to be doing. That way you can sort of you can plan your life around that. And I'm looking forward to that side of things as well, I think. And
as for you being here, I'm looking at your chaise longue. I mean, you could live here. This is bigger than most flats in London, isn't it?
Really? Well, I've only just moved in. I've got a whole bag of things there. I'm going to add to it lots of nice smelling candles, and I'm changing the curtains. I think it's fairly bare. I will make it like my home, I think.
It must be nice for you at this point to think actual proper theatre now regard me as an old pro.
It's really nice just to work with really talented people, right from the musicians, everyone on stage, all the ensemble, all the the brothers and all the girls, and right down to the kids in the show. Everyone's really able to sing well, and that's a great feeling as well. I'm not working with amateurs here. I'm working with real West End stars, and all of them are able to do the part that I'm doing, and so it's keeps me on my toes. It's the first time in a long time I've had to sort of really sing, and have a little bit of training for that. that.
Is it still a great thrill when you walk down the Strand and you see the big billboards and your face is all over it? How does that feel?
Yeah, it's a nice feeling, I must admit. You know, I think the posters go up on the tube very, very soon, and yeah, you know, that'll be a lovely feeling when I see that too. It's not something I thrive on. However, yeah, it feels nice. You know, certainly in this climate and what's happening in the world right now, it's nice to be in a show like this, you know, and to be doing well.
But the problem is, when you're in a theatre, the punters know where you have to come in and where you have to go out. Do you enjoy that? Because I know you're quite shy as a person, really. I know when I've interviewed you before, you don't really get involved in all the showbiz nonsense. But in theatre, they know where they can find you. Is that exciting to see your punters every night?
Yeah, I love meeting people, you know. I've always kept a very... Well, I've always wanted to meet the people that put me where I am and spend time with them, you know, and I mean that. It's always lovely to see them. So there might be nights I have to escape quickly if there's other things that I'm involved in. However, most of the time I'll always try and come down to stage door and see as many of them as I can. Yeah. You know, having the opportunity to sing in front of Andrew Lloyd Webber, and you know, for him, who's written some of the most amazing music, who's worked with some of the best singers in the world, for him to say that was absolutely brilliant, you know, and we'd love to offer you the part. You know, the likes of Andrew aren't really going to have, you know, sort of anybody. So it is a nice feeling, you know, that he's picked me simply because I will be good as Joseph. Well, hopefully, yeah.
How do you keep your nerves intact so it doesn't overtake your performance?
I think with this show, it's the first thing I've ever really done where I've had to play a character as such. Usually when I'm on stage and I'm performing, I'm me as an artist, and everyone knows that artist. Here though, I'm playing Joseph, and I've had to read my Bible, you know, in order to get sort of into character, and you know, and so yeah, it's not really me on stage. I'm playing someone else, you know, and I think that helps. Sure, I'll be nervous for the first few nights and while I find my feet. However, you know, I am in it for 6 months. I'm sure I'll start to feel a lot more comfortable after a few weeks go by.
Well, again, if you can stand in front of the Lord and sing it and have his approval, I don't think you've got to worry about the likes of me, have you, really?
Well, no.
I noticed through the entire interview, just to give a picture for those who are at home, you keep rubbing, I think they call them guns, don't they? Is this to make me feel inadequate? Is that what this is about?
No, no. I don't know. I have been working out a lot. My arms and my legs are aching, in fact. That's maybe why I'm rubbing my arms, yeah.
What about lads' magazines for the girls? Are you going to be now stripping off, and is this going to be like an exclusive Hello full-page spread thing?
Well, now that I'm on stage every night, practically naked, the loincloth is very, very short. You can see everything, and I'm on the stage for about 90% of the show in the loincloth. So maybe, yeah, you might see me on Men's Health.
Well, let's hope so. And as for the waxing and all of that, have you got to get involved in all of that business?
I've had to wax my chest, yeah, which is awful. I'm a very hairy person, if I'm honest, and yeah, there was a lot of hair to get rid of.
So is it just to the chest, or do you have to go all over legs and everything?
Oh no, it's only my chest. Fortunately, I don't have a hairy back, so that's fine.
That's a relief. And how much does that hurt on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, I have to confess, even though I say wax, I actually use something called Veet, which is a cream that you put on, leave it on for 5 to 10 minutes. It wasn't me, it was the people of Joseph have made me do it. If I wanted the part, I had to wax my chest.
And how often do we have to do that then?
I don't know.
When I say we, I mean you.
Yeah, what? Once a week maybe, and as I said before, I have to wear a wig. Yeah, so I look like a completely different person on stage.
And do you have to man tan as well?
Yeah, I've had the occasional sunbed, and I've recently found out they have a spray tan machine here. So watch out. You'll see me looking rather orange, I'm sure, very, very soon.
Bathe in creosote and then you'll look like Dale Winton.
Oh, hopefully not.
It's a way forward. Gareth Gates, it's always nice to talk to you because you're just you, and that's what's nice, and that's why the ladies like you. Is there any better feeling, because I've said this to you before and I'm going to come back to it, having ladies like you? Because when you look like me, you don't really get that.
I'm sure you have your fair share, mate. I'm a married man now and happy, and even though I am married, it's always lovely to have that attention, and naturally, and it feels great when you're on the stage and everyone's shouting your name and screaming.
Is it a double-edged sword for Mrs. Gates? Is she happy in the one way that you're looking delicious, but on the other that other people are now interested?
She's fine with it. We're both very comfortable in our relationship, so it's good.
All right, I'm going to leave you in peace now because you've got a lot to rehearse for. Thank you so much for talking to me. It's always nice, and good luck in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. It's on here at the Adelphi in the West End of London, and you've got a tremendous voice. It's so nice to see you back at the top. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you very much, Alex. Thanks, mate.
How long does it take to get that body then?
I don't know, I do sort of like half an hour exercise a day. Just like sit-ups or press-ups or something, but I don't do much, to be honest. It's sort of kind of natural. All my brothers are kind of like this as well.
Really?
Yeah, it's in the genes. You wouldn't believe it to look at my dad, but I'm afraid to say it is.
Now, outside, we've got to tell you, there are thousands and thousands of women gagging for you. What's that like?
I don't know, it's really sweet, I suppose, but I mean, I don't know why. I think I look like a girl, so I think it's really sort of sweet.
You think you look like a girl?
Yeah, I think I mean, you grow up with your face for 21 years, I have, and from one day to the next you don't see it as anything special, and then suddenly somebody goes, oh, and you're like, why? So it's really cool though. I mean, it gives you a chance to meet everybody who supports you.
How did it all start then? Because we know you best from Coronation Street. Now you've gone to do the albums. How did it all start?
Well, I actually joined my manager, who's Nigel Martin Smith. I joined him when Take That was still formed to do singing, and I was sort of getting all the interest from record labels as a solo artist, when it was on a day off that he then said, look, there's this audition for Corrie, why don't you go along? You won't get it, but you can have a go because it'll get you some experience at like interviews. So literally we went from singing, completely blagged my way into the acting, and then just kind of went back to the singing.
What kind of a risk was it in your mind having to leave Coronation Street? How nervous were you? Because I've just resigned from Century and I'm going somewhere new, and it's always that step where you think, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a leap in the dark, but it's one of those things where I never thought I'd be lucky enough to get such a good job as Coronation Street, because it is a fantastic job, but you can't really sort of settle in life, for something like that. You've got to really just try always, I think, to do what you really want to do, and I've always wanted to do this. I think every little kid does. And I didn't want to spend the rest of my life saying, oh, I wish I had, but I was scared. So I just sort of went, well, stuff it, might as well have a crack at it and see what happens.
What do we get on the new album then?
Well, it's quite a sort of mix on there. There's a couple of ballads, because I do like them, but I think sometimes people do too many. So there's a couple of ballads, some out-and-out pop music, and then some sort of proper club tracks, like dance music. Because, I mean, that's basically, it was just songs which when I ever wrote them or I heard them first time, if it made me sort of get up and dance like an idiot, then I was like, yeah, I want that. So it's just quite a sort of like party type album, really. I think people would be surprised, that some of the songs on there are, really, really sort of club and, I don't know, creditable is the word, but, really decent songs.
What's next then? What do you want to be doing in 10 years' time? Are you happy singing the music, or do you want to go back into acting?
I'd like to carry on doing singing, really. I mean, I do enjoy it so much that if I could have like any dream, I'd like to still be doing this. But I mean, I got acting offers since I left Coronation Street, and if something came along where I could do it as well as the singing, then I might have a crack, just to have a bit of a laugh with it. But if I had to choose between the two, the singing would win each time.
Just give a wave to the ladies up there, will you?
Oh. Hello again.
They all love you, don't they? Now, another part of society we do need to talk about that do love you. You did Mr. Gay UK, and you're huge in the gay fraternity. What is it? I'm not on the other bus, by the way. Well, you needn't worry.
I don't know. I mean, it's the same sort of things. I don't see the difference between that and the girl-based fans. I mean, to be honest, I don't really see why anybody would want to follow and fancy us. But I mean, it's just sweet either way, really. I mean, especially nowadays, it's not so much an issue. I mean, I'm glad it's that way. I just think it's great that the gay community can accept a straight icon, whereas, you know, so many times the straight press and media have a hard time doing vice versa.
Now, what I want to do is give you a pen, because I told the ladies in the office I was coming today. Can you write one to Danielle for me?
Right, okay.
And then another one to Ian. And if we can talk at the same time, that would be great. Yeah. Now, as we say, Coronation Street, what was it like working on the most famous soap in the world?
It was, to start off with, it was really odd because I'd never seen a single episode, which I know sounds, you know, ridiculous, but it's one of those shows where if your family watch it when you're a little kid, you watch it for life. And because my family never did, I literally didn't have a clue what I was getting into.
Another one for Lisa, please.
Another one for Lisa, sorry. So I literally didn't have a clue what I was getting into. So, I mean, working there was fine, you know, because the people, I mean, I know everyone always says it about soaps, but they are just the nicest bunch of people. So that was great. But I mean, it was literally, you know, overnight, suddenly everybody knew who you were, which, you know, was kind of daunting because I, you know, didn't know what to expect at all.
You could do me one as well, too, Alex, why not? And the other thing I was going to say to you is talking about press, because, I mean, you're sat here now, I'm not interested in going into your background or what you're doing or what you don't do. I'm here talking frivolously, but you have had some problems in the press that they write things that I certainly wouldn't want written about me.
It's an odd thing, really. I mean, I don't mind it because, you know, you expect that is the way the business is now, you know. But, I mean, it's bizarre. As soon as you get in the limelight, you suddenly have to tell them, you know, the size of your penis, how many women you've slept with, you know, things like this. And it's odd, you know, the way that they expect you just to open up, which, you know, it's fine by me because you accept it is part and parcel of it. And, I mean, I get sick of it when you hear people sort of saying, oh, you don't stand the pressure. Because it's kind of like, well, you know that's what the business is like, so you shouldn't have got into it if you don't, you know, want to have that. So I just sort of laugh at it, really.
For our lady listeners, what is the size of your penis?
That's for me and my right hand to know and them to find out.
Is it difficult coping with the adulation? Because as you say, I mean, I'm the ugliest man on radio, I know this. I don't mind admitting this. This is so true. And when I got out my taxi coming here today, thousands of women all laughing at me when I got out of the cab.
Stop it.
What's it like to have all them after you?
To be honest, I find it really embarrassing. Just because, I mean, if somebody comes up to you and goes, so like, oh, you're gorgeous, what do you do? I just sort of go, cheers. I mean, it is a real compliment, but I say I don't really understand why, because I know there's lots of better looking blokes around than me.
Thank you, Adam Rickitt.
Cheers very much, Alex.
Kavana, good morning.
Good morning, Alex.
How are you, big man?
I'm good, how are you?
If I could be you for just one day.
Just one day.
Just one day. That's all I need. Just a little bit of the Kavana loving. You've got it all, haven't you?
I don't know about that, but yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting journey the last few weeks, that's for sure.
How's your life now? I mean, presumably the ladies were after you before. Now it must be even better, is it?
Oh, I mean, I can't keep them away. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, you know, I just can't shake them off. But I mean, you know about that, Alex. I mean, you know, you have the same problem, don't you? 2 tons of fun, mate, I'm telling you. Ugly, fat ginger, it couldn't be worse if I was German. I got to be honest with you. It must be great being you, though, because you did this show, you'd already had a career before, then you came back with The Grease Is the Word. Was that a success, or was it not a success? Well, I mean, it got like 6 million viewers every week, so to me that seems a success. I mean, I think the press just put it up against Joseph, but, you know, it was a whole different audience. I mean, for me personally, it was a success because it's got me a second shot, you know, it's got me a second shot at the career again. So, but yeah, I mean, I think it was a success, yeah. That Joseph programme was the gayest programme on TV, wasn't it? Yeah, I actually went to see it the other night, and it's even camper, and the actual show itself's even camper. Well, I walked out of the show. I was working in London for a while last year, and I went to see it. I think it was Stephen Gately who was playing it, which says it all, doesn't it, really? Right. And I just left within 10 minutes, and I normally walk out at half-time if I don't like something. I couldn't bear it. At the point when they had blow-up sheep on stage, I thought it was time for me to leave. Yeah, you saw the blow-up sheep too? Oh, yeah. Right. You've seen it. Is this a new show completely, or have they just rehashed the old one that's been touring for years? Well, I don't know, but I'll tell you about the Grease thing, because I've a couple of people, you know, I know that are in it, or whatever, or that just the, you know, people in the backstage, and they're using the old set for that as well. So I don't think they're spending a lot of money on either one, to be honest. There's a line in The Producers that says, rule 1 of theatre, never invest in a show, and rule 2 of theatre, never invest in a show. Right. Perhaps they're not bothering. I think it sounds like that. I mean, blow up sheep, I mean, come on. I know, I have to pay good money for that in Soho. What's your review then out of 10? Would you go and pay to see it? Which one, Grease or Joseph? Well, let's start with Joseph. I actually enjoyed it. I mean, I'd had a few drinks beforehand, but I mean, you know, I'd give it like a 5 or a 6. It was a comedy, you know, it was comedic, and it was good, and he was great in it, I thought, you know. I mean, for that role, I mean, you know, Grease, obviously, I'm, you know, a bit biased, but maybe not because I'm not in it. So I'll have to wait and see it.
I was amazed the first time I saw the musical of Grease how outrageous it was. There's some real shocking lines in it about, wagons and things like that.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to use that in this one, but yeah, we had to take that out in the show on the TV.
Why? I mean, it's only about kittens.
Right.
Am I missing something? Kavana, let's talk about your time in that show. Was it exciting? Was it traumatic? Was it fun? Were you abused? Did you find David Guest completely revolting?
Oh, God. I mean, to be honest with you, when I went into that show, I mean, I couldn't get arrested, to be honest with you. I mean, I came back to this country after being in America for so long and, with the new music, and I was basically told, forget it, you can't, unless you do a reality show, you're not going to get back in and you're not going to have a shot. And I thought, oh, God, because Big Brother had just happened and that was a disaster. The Jungle was months away and I was basically down on my luck, and then this thing popped up. So I really had no choice. But for me personally, apart from the show itself, the actual whole experience was great for me because it got everything going for me. It was discipline, it was... it was just great to have a routine every day, and people probably saw it on the show each week. I was getting, I hate to say mojo again, but really that's what did happen for me. It was an interesting ride, the whole thing. The judges were all completely insane in their own way, David Guest is actually become, a bit of a friend. I mean, we've hung out a bit, and he's just in his own world, but he means well. And Sunita, obviously, you saw the outfits, which kind of explains that.
Cuckoo.
And I think David Ian, lovely guy, but David Ian, had his eye on, I think he was nervous in case I was going to win it, because I think he might have thought I might have got bored, because it was a year's contract, 8 shows a week,
I think it was very brave of you to do it in the first place, because had you been turned away at those first auditions, you would never, ever have worked again in show business, would you?
No, I mean, that's why I was a nervous wreck. I mean, you saw the state of me. I mean, but I literally had no choice. I mean, I had to do something, Luckily, I stuck in there right to the end,
I'm going to play you a new song in a minute. I Can Make You Feel Good is the new song. It's 7 inches, which is remarkable.
Yeah, well, it's actually one of my old ones, but it's been re-released because of this best of album that the old label are putting out, you see.
Who's buying this now, then, Kavana?
I have no idea. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, unfortunately, I can't really promote it as much as I'd like to because it's my old label and so... there's only little things I can do, so I'm not sure how amazingly well it's going to do, but it'll be nice to have something get out there in the shops while I'm working on my new stuff, because I'm banging the studio again, and a new proper single will be out before the end of the year. Hopefully a new generation, you never know, because it's funny though, because some people know me as Anthony after this show. Like in the street, people shouting, Anthony, because they don't know me as Kavana, because my name is Anthony Kavana, but I used to be known as Kavana, so I'm almost like two people.
It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, the way that your career's gone, you're now doing and selling out things like GAY. Are you very big with the Friends of Dorothy?
Definitely. Oh, God, yeah. I mean, in this day and age, but bring everybody on. I mean, we need to connect with that, especially the Friends of Dorothy. I mean, they do, and also that's actually a great venue to play because, you get paid well, and you go on stage at like 1 o'clock and just jump around a bit, and they seem to love it. And by then, everyone's kind of out of it anyway.
And you also get groped for free on the way out the building.
Exactly. That's why you need your bodyguard.
Have you ever considered going the other way?
I would never put it past anyone. I mean, who knows in this day and age? Who knows which way the wind will blow? Pardon the pun.
If you had to sleep with any male celebrity, who would it be?
Well, apart from you.
You have to ask some sort of questions, mate. Is that all right if we just move on?
Well, actually, if you want publicity from it, I mean, I can get you that. If you don't, we can talk about the album.
If that's okay, mate, yeah.
All right, then, so you don't want to answer that question?
I mean, do you want to answer the question,
Well, I was going to say him.
Oh, fair play.
Thank you. No, the way it works, mate, I could get you... I mean, last week I got 2 column inches with Marley in class and other people, and this is how you do it. But if you want to talk about the album, that's fine. What do you want to do, Kavana?
Yeah, I'm absolutely fine. Carry on. I mean, I can't see what's going on in the other room. I'm just chatting to you, so I don't know.
Well, I'm having a great time if you are.
Yeah, I'm having a lovely time.
So back to that question then. Other than me, if there was anybody you could sleep with, I mean, who would it be?
Oh, God, I'll have to think about that one.
Yeah.
Probably, let's see. Who could I say on that? David Guest.
Really? I mean, he's fabulous. And I love the way that he charcoals his own hair. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? I don't know, does he?
Well, he puts that black stuff on. Didn't you watch his programme?
No, I didn't see the programme.
Yeah, he paints his own hair before he goes out.
Really?
Yeah, if it rains, he's in terrible bother.
Oh, God.
What's the most exciting thing that's happened in your career? I mean, what is the one memory you've got that if it all ended tomorrow, you'd go, thank God for that?
Probably probably getting a phone call to go at the last minute to see if I wanted to go and play for the Princesses of Brunei's birthday party.
Ah.
And I was in LA at the time and I was a bit down on my luck. And it came out of nowhere and they flew me out there. It was brilliant. And, got paid a nice amount, and I was in Brunei in the palace. I'll never forget that, because it was literally a palace. I mean, it was just unbelievable. I never did anything so over the top in my life,
You seem quite natural at it, and I always think that's nice, because in this business there's a lot of people who aren't very natural and look difficult and awkward on stage.
Right.
Is this something you've always done and always loved, presumably?
Yeah, I mean, I've always just kind of breezed into, maybe it's a fault of mine, I should probably be a bit more focused, but I seem to have just breezed into things. Luckily, like, when I left school, I was working at McDonald's, not really know what I was doing. The next thing I send this tape to this manager, I get signed up. So that was like, okay, now I'm going to be a pop star. With the Grease thing, dancing wasn't my forte. I think that was quite clear, because Danny B was like, lives and breathes it and studied all of his life. I mean, he literally was straight out of stage school, so, I mean, he could do the splits and jump in the air and all sorts. I love performing. I wouldn't say I love the dancing part so much.
Listen, it's lovely talking to you, and thanks for coming on the programme today. And congratulations on everything, because you're doing really well. And I think it's probably not going to do you that much of a disservice not being in the Grease thing. I think you're probably better making a name for yourself now. You've had that huge 6 million people watching you on a Saturday night. Can't do you any harm, can it?
Fingers crossed. It could be blow up Sheeps and Joseph, couldn't it, Alex?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm all for a blow up myself, know. Listen, it's lovely to talk to you, and I apologise for upsetting you earlier or upsetting your management.
Oh no, I couldn't see what was going on. I was actually happily chatting.
I know. Thing is, you see, I get heckled all the time. This is what women normally do to me, you see. I'm not expecting it from blokes. Kavana, good to talk to you. We'll play the new single for you now, and thanks for coming on the big show.
Thanks, Alex.